All right. My voice is gone. I wonder why. Holy cow. What a wow. What was that? What was that? That's all I can say. What in the world did I just watch? That's okay. It was all for the best, you know. Oh, I need to plug it into this phone. Charger. My phone is dead. Do your work. Okay, welcome in everyone. Let's read some chats before we get started. What an ending from Clyde Ryder, Bubba Wallace fan. Oh yeah, that was pain. If you're rooting for Reddick for sure, and Bubba had, I believe, they had to come in and clean his grill and went a couple laps down and pretty much ended his night. So I hate the fact that they couldn't get that better up. I mean, these teams know what they're dealing with. They got to get something figured out. Some of these teams have it working where their grills don't clog up with anything ever. So something works. So NASCAR teams got to get on top of that, figure it out, get something working so that you don't have your intakes getting clogged because some of it's just bad luck of the track, but sometimes it's just there. So. Clyde Ryder, yeah, just the fact that Kyle Busch was getting all those boos is pretty funny. Vegas Busch backs into every win. Bristol Busch, yep, we win. Yeah, well, I mean, he's not exactly doing anything wrong. He ran third all day. If he was running 10th all day, I could understand, but I get it. I understand it's kind of hypocritical because he got on. He got a lucky one this time. I mean, you can say, like I said, you can say he got lucky. The fact was he was leading to start the stage, and he did run top 10 all day. So Busch was a winning caliber car. But, yes, totally kind of backed into it from the sense of going from third to first. Add Briscoe to the drivers I will never cheer for. Man, Briscoe, that was just dumb. I mean, he dumped Denny last year in kind of a silly way, and now he's done it to Reddick, just doing things that are just a little bit too much. Just a little too much to ask. Busch was not set to win. Yeah, I mean, he was not quite ready for that, but hey, 18 years in a row, Kyle Busch has won a race. That is impressive. Justin says, really wanted Reddick to win. Hate that I watched all that just for Kyle to be right place, right time. Man, I'm glad it finished and it didn't end under like one of the rain delays. But that being said, I would have hated for it to have rain delayed right after that stage when all those guys had pitted, because then Briscoe's finish would have been bad, which it was anyway because of how he did it. But at least he made the choice. A lot of guys would have had a lot worse finishes. Add Briscoe to the favorite driver list of SHR, says Clyde. Houston Hookett says Bristol dirt sucks. Honestly, I think Bristol dirt is as good a dirt track as you're going to get for these cars, because these cars were not designed to run on dirt. And if they went to, say, Knoxville, it would eventually get to a one-groove track because it's a flat track. There's a bottom and there's a cushion, and that's pretty much it. There's not multiple grooves. Bristol, for these cars, works. I mean, it does. It works. They also got really lucky with the rain, as dumb as that sounds. That little bit of water kind of consistently coming down helps reset the track and not let it get so dry and dusty. So they had some luck on their side, but I do think it's something that the trucks and anything can put on a good show for dirt for about 50 to 75 laps. But then if they don't get any chance to work on that track just a little bit in between, it's going to end up getting to the really sucky point where it's just a one groove track on the top or the bottom. It doesn't matter. So, that being said, I think they lucked out in a couple ways. All right, let's go back up here and look here. Bristol Dirt. Oh, yeah, it was that. Parker says, hello, welcome in. Why did Kyle have to win? Dude, I'm not even mad. Kyle Busch has won, I think that's his 9th win at Bristol now, and it's on dirt. Like, that's just his house. I frankly hope he gets to 12. I want him to tie Darrell Waltrip. I mean, he's so good there. He always is good. I do hope he runs well this year. I really hope they do fix the short track problem. So we'll see by the fall, though. In the end, I don't blame him for going for it. Great sportsmanship between Reddick and Briscoe. Those are to understand hard racing and what it is. I mean, let's be fair here. If Tyler Reddick was mad, he has every right. He probably is mad, but he has every right to be furious. The fact is, Briscoe just flat out dive bombed it and wrecked them both. And it cost them both a shot at the win. For sure cost Reddick a win. So, like, you can have it where you can be cordial with someone, but, that should absolutely be in his memory bank. if we're getting to the end of the race, say at Kansas, and he has to dive bomb to the bottom and kind of put Briscoe in the wall, that's a fair move now. It wasn't a fair move originally. Now it's a fair move because Briscoe's now done it to him. Yes, Briscoe didn't win the race, but it doesn't matter. You took a chance at a win away. Now he's got one. And it doesn't mean you intentionally do it, but if you're going for a win and you have a chance to just boot the guy, you now have you have that. It's acceptable. Denny Hamlin, Ultimate Fan, I was looking forward to that Reddick win diecast. Hey, that Kyle Busch one will look good too, but man, I don't know if they could have made that one. I have to remember if there was a sponsor issue there. But NASCAR Final Four, this race was 10 times better than last. Yes, again, track prep is everything, and they prepped it well. Blake Walker says trucks at Knoxville is going to suck again, but I still bought tickets. Hey, I'm going too, man. So I'll be there as well. I think, honestly, when I was at Knoxville, they ran the heats and the feature on the same day. And the heats were great. I mean, the racing in the heats was fantastic. And even the first 50 laps of the feature was great. But once that track got too wore down, it was bad. And the truck guys did some of that to themselves. They just bulldozed each other. Some of that goes on the drivers. But from what I remember from Knoxville, the heats and the first 50 laps was really good. I had a great time. That being said, I think this year, what they did last year that didn't work was they basically eliminated any chance of a cushion by only reworking the top. And so there was never enough to build a cushion. So if they're going to do it again, they need to rework the whole track, similar to what they did today. And that, just let Knoxville do what they do. Knoxville knows how to put on a show. NASCAR, just step aside. Let Knoxville do what they do. They'll re-prep the whole track. The first 50 laps will be a little weird. They'll have to kind of maybe run it in with a little bit of something. But after that, that'll develop. There'll be a groove up top. There'll be a cushion up top. There'll be a big groove on the bottom. And it'll be a good 2-lane track. And yeah, I think Knoxville can be great if they just let Knoxville do what they're supposed to. Clyde Ryder, I was hoping for another Briscoe diecast pre-order. Oh, man. But, I mean, another first-time winner. Whoops, my bad. It wasn't a first-time winner. I was so ready for Reddick to win, I forgot Busch won. Another new winner this year, though, so that's got to count. Justin says, definitely a better race than I was expecting. Would have never believed it would have been better than Martinsville. That is a fact. I did not see it being better than Martinsville. But that being said, they did a much better job on the track this year. I think that's the biggest kicker right there. They did a much better job on the racetrack. They prepped it better, and it worked. AJ Gaming has welcomed us in, or brought. I said broken in here, but I feel like that's in bad taste because you just said you have a broken leg. But it's just the first thing that came to mind because of that word, I guess. I read it. I read both of them. Yeah. Whoops. So welcome in, man. I hope you're feeling better. Evan Hamilton says, I feel bad for Reddick, but that's going to be a really good Cookie Crunch Camry. Yes, it is. I think he's got some donut marks on it. So, again, he ran well all day, so he did great. Let's see. NASCAR Final Four says, I think Briscoe and Reddick will be the next big underdogs of NASCAR. I don't think they're underdogs. I have every expectation that those two will be in the round of 8 this year. At the end of the day, if you look at it, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but Elliott and Blaney are still leading points, but this year has been just unpredictable on who goes where. So, and we go to Talladega next week, so it's even worse. It's been a really chaotic start to the schedule. Now, that being said, it does equal out a little bit. Let me look here at our schedule. But it does get a little easier down the stretch. It's going to get a little more calm and back to what I would call normal. Because we've had, road courses, Martinsville, dirt, Richmond, and there's a few good ones in there, but a lot of chaos in there. And so when we go down the list here, we got Talladega next week. Okay. But then we get Dover. Okay. A little weird. Darlington, high wear track, but another fun one. But then we get Kansas, Texas, Charlotte, Gateway. So that'll be kind of a stretch of normal races. Then we go to Sonoma. So we get a road course, Nashville, Road America, and then Atlanta, second time, which is now, crapshoot, Pocono. So honestly, it's a good mix. I will say, I'm looking at this schedule, and the mile and a half has been all but eliminated. So it's going to be a good stretch. Now, you're going to have a lot of normal tracks at the end of the season, in terms of we're not going to have as much chaos. But, we've had a pretty chaotic start to the year. So I can't imagine it gets more chaotic than this. Clyde Ryder says, Race Craze, if you pre-order this KB win, I will unsub. Well, that's too bad. I have a website to run, and I must have something for photos. So, shame. I guess I have to. I love that as an excuse. But no, that will be coming. So we'll have that one and any other dirt cars that are made. Basically this year, for just this year, because of all the chaos going on with the business I'm in and stuff, it's just race versions that are going on the website. So Xfinity, Truck, Cup, just race versions. Outside of that, just for this year, it shouldn't be a ton. We'll see. I might start doing some of the primary schemes, but just for now, this year, it's going to be raced versions only on the website, and then the dirt cars or the sprint cars and stuff. But then into next year, we'll start to get a little bit more, hopefully a little more calmed down as far as the other stuff goes, so I can handle it a little better. Jackson B41 says, "Swear to God, some people need to get a new go-to line other than Mickey." Yeah, that's a really silly name for someone who ran that well all day. Just pain. So close for Bristol, even worse than Indy, says Ethan Green. Yeah, Indy was, I was at that race, but I also know he got that track position on strategy. Ran well still, but yeah, it did suck to see him have that issue at on the final restart at Indy. But at the end of the day, it was like he didn't run up front like he did today. Today, he had a car to win. Gavin Adkins says, "I'm a Kyle fan. I just screamed in the house with sleeping people in it." Whoops. He must be on the East Coast. Even Central Time, it's 10 p.m. So, NASCAR fan of 4. I like Briscoe, but I want to point out that Briscoe pretty much ran Dillon into the wall. Dillon. Yeah, no, he did. He pretty much just missed a slider and put him up that high. So, Blake Walker says, "Can't wait for another Elliott 9th place Bristol race version." Hey, look. Before you say anything about a 9th place Bristol version of Chase Elliott's car, I have one right here in 164th. But let me do it one more time. Before you say that, I think he finished 8th. Let me look. 8th. So you watch your tongue, mister. Let's see here. Jackson B41 says, "I'm going to Indy for what? Trucks? Oh, IRP. I forgot about that. That's right. I get a triple. I'm going to Indy as well. So hopefully I'll see you there. But I hope you're heading to the other 2 races as well. That road course is really fun. Saturday, Sunday mix. There's a ton going on at the track. You just basically, man, Indy was fun last year. I'm glad I'm going again this year. Cloud Runner says, "I'm getting tickets for Championship. I have to see if they're up yet." Yeah, I'm holding off for this one this year. I was hoping to go to one more race after October, but I think I'll wait till next year. So I'll be done by Bristol night race. That'll be my last race of the year. You think they'll make a 164th for Kyle's win? I don't know for sure. I'll know by tomorrow, but I don't know yet. So much better this year compared to last year. Absolutely. Most of that goes on track prep. Car's different too, so that helps. Clyde Ryder says, "I'm also getting tickets for the 23 championship race so I can see Kevin Harvick run one last time." I hate thinking of that. Oh, man. I know what that's like, just to see your driver retire. And I didn't even get to see it because I didn't know it was happening. Kane had that medical issue, and all of a sudden, boom, he's out of the car. So I didn't realize the last time I saw him race was going to be the last time I got to see him race. But I did get to see him run in some sprint cars. So that's like 4 times between Bubba and Briscoe in the past year. Bubba and Briscoe? I thought you said it was Dillon. I must have missed that part. Still the sportsmanship shows more. Reddick isn't happy, but I don't think Reddick is gonna treat him worse. End of the day, it was aggressive. It didn't work out. Yeah, no, for sure, Parker. That's not what I meant. I just meant like, if Tyler Reddick was not really wanting to talk about it right now, just kind of like, "I'll talk to you later. I'm mad. Just leave me alone right now." That's totally acceptable, and I don't think anyone should call him a poor sport for that. I think that's perfectly valid. Reddick has every right to be mad. And like I said, it doesn't mean you race him so much worse, but it does mean the next time that you're both going for a win and you have a chance in second to practically wipe him out for the win, you get that green light because he gave it to you tonight. So it doesn't mean you want that to happen, but it's there. AJ says, "I made a custom car in NASCAR 21 and I want to show it, but I can't. But if I ever see you at a race, I'll show you a pic." Well, I always let you know what races I'm going to. So from there, you just got to message me on the Instagram and all them places, and maybe we'll meet up at one of the tents or something. Let's see. Jackson B41, "The race reminded me of a 2021 Daytona road course clash, like the leaders reckon and Kyle sneaking through." Yeah, that's pretty much exactly it, because the leaders drive off and he's a distant third and ends up sneaking, literally sneaking by at the last second to win. So, it's definitely there. Remember when Kyle said Bowman backs into every win? Yeah, Kyle led more laps today than Bowman still in that race. So that was surely some shenanigans at the end of that race, still processing all that. I agree. That was a little wild. Why is Kansas my favorite track? It's not. It's Bristol. Get over yourself. All right, KFC says I'm a Briscoe fan, and I'm tired of him getting screwed. Yes, he did this one to himself, but other times it's annoying. Yeah, I mean, if we're being honest, Chase Briscoe had probably the one of the better cars tonight, but he also had a lot of luck. He got to start in the right lanes at the right time. He had a flat tire, bad luck. But then he has a new flat. He gets his tire changed right before the end of the stage. Good luck, because he gets right back up to third and gets to start pretty much where he was. So that bad luck didn't really hurt him, except for missing out on a few stage points. So yeah, I mean tonight the luck really balanced out, and it ended up being, I'd say, fair. I think at the end of the night he made his wild move and it just bit him. Let's see here. McDowell winning at Dega. Oh man, that'd be another. That would be another wild, like playoff altering win, because it's already at the point where it's like there's going to be 16 winners, and I'm interested to see how this works. We got a lot of wild races left, and just remember, by the way, guys, Chase Elliott has not won a race yet. Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney have not won a race yet. There's 3 winners yet that have not won a race. Kevin Harvick has not won a race. That is 4 winners that we could easily see winning races by the end of this year. 4. And Daniel Suarez would be a wild card 5th. Truex has not won. Oh my gosh, that's 6 winners. Like, we're getting so close already. All right, let's see here. I have never been so happy after the race that Kyle won. Man, I hear you. I haven't had that luck where my driver wins on something wild like that, but I bet it's nice. Do I have pins for the 2021 Indy Xfinity race? I just got the money to buy the Cindric diecast, and I want to know if you can get the pin. So I can get the diecast. They didn't actually have a pin for the Xfinity race, and generally they don't. Xfinity races, very rarely do they have event pins for them. They had the Cup one, and the IndyCar one, but they did not have an Xfinity pin made, so it doesn't exist. But I believe I have an extra Cindric win coming, so check I shouldn't say check the website. Hold off, check the website in a couple days. I got another wave of these metal chassis to do, so it's getting wild. NRF 18 says, drop my Easter candy when Kyle won. I mean, how do you not? I mean, he barely won, too. It was close. Race Craze, have I ever done a face reveal? Only on accident. A couple times the camera's flipped on me. But 5K is when I plan to do that. And I have other plans for the channel here. I'm going to the Indy Road Course for Xfinity Cup and IndyCar. Well done, KFC. Hey, go an extra night, or go Friday night. Go watch some trucks run at IRP. I think that'll be a fun one. What race am I most excited for of the remaining races? Oh, gosh. Well, I can't wait for Bristol Night Race. That's my favorite race of the year. I love it. I think Kansas is going to be great. I think those cars at Kansas are going to put on a great show. So I am excited for Kansas. Darlington, there's so many races I am excited to see, because I just think they're going to put on a good show on a lot of these bigger tracks. Now, the short track stuff, they got to get something worked out. But, man, I think it's going to be a great race just about everywhere. I am excited. This car has done a great job so far. Ethan Green, I meant in the past year, Bubba and Briscoe have given me pain by coming up close and win. Oh, I got you. Although Briscoe did win at Phoenix, was a bonus. Hey, and Bubba got that win at Dega, so, Mickey win, in his own words, as a joke, obviously. But, yeah, no, Bubba got his win, and Briscoe got a win. So, and I believe the Briscoe win was in the Mahindra car. Still a good-looking car, but that High Point looks amazing, so he needs to win in that once. My uncle went to school with Tony Stewart, and they were still friends. Well, dang. Indiana is a small state. Kyle was owed that one after Las Vegas. I can get on board with that. You know what? It's the racing gods rewarding him for what he should have had at Vegas. I mean, it was his race to lose. And Kyle regularly has more of the Vegas luck than the other luck. So maybe the universe is trying to balance it out. All right, let's see here. Parker says, I'm going with some friends to Dover for my first Cup race. I'm very excited. Went to Xfinity at Richmond, and the experience was great. And that's awesome, because I'm pretty sure that the Richmond Xfinity races were pretty decent this year. Oh, yeah, that was the Nemechek one. That was good. But, yeah, if you're going to Dover, that's awesome. I've only been near the track. I've never actually gotten to see a race there. I went out to the outside, took a picture near the Monster and stuff, but there was no race that weekend. So I hope to get out there at some point, but it's not on my next 5 list. I've got some other ones to go to first. Justin Askins, I'm going to Gateway this year, but $350 for parking and good seats is hard to swallow. Yeah, and there's a very limited amount of parking. And so I'm concerned that Gateway is going to be a one and done, like not one and done, but it's going to be as bad as Kentucky traffic wise and stuff. I am concerned that Gateway could be a really big mess. I hope that's not the case, but man, I looked at the facility, I looked at the map around the place, and I am concerned for Gateway because I'm going. I'm going to have a good time. I'll probably meet up with you there, but man, I'm concerned that facility does not look like it's ready for Cup caliber traffic. I'm going to the Throwback Darlington race this year, first time being anywhere but the 500. Well, man, I think you're going to have a good time. I think you're actually going to enjoy the race more because it's harder to see at Daytona and everyone's always in a pack, where this one, the race actually plays out in front of your very eyes. You get to see every battle on track. Like, I mean, I bet it's really fun to see the super speedways, but man, Bristol is probably the best because there's always a battle in every corner, and you can just, I mean, no matter where you look, there's something going on, and everything's so close, you can see it so clearly. So, I think the atmosphere won't be quite as amped up, but I think you'll enjoy the racing part more. Josh Forrester says, I feel like what Kyle said was meant to troll the fans here. He basically said exactly what Chastain said after wrecking someone to win, yet the fans boo Kyle for doing literally nothing. Well, exactly. And not only that, but yeah, like you said, he did nothing. So him getting booed is just funny. Also, what medical issues happened to Casey Kane? I don't know if they ever actually said that yet. But I know it was something with his body retaining water, and so he would always get really dehydrated. So I know that was the symptom, but I don't know if they ever really have a name for it or anything. Clyde Ryder, can I do an update diecast collection before the next gens? No, probably not. And here's why. And it's not because I don't want to do it. Here's why. Right now, that is where my collection sits for the most. There's a few, that's a Casey Kane bin right there. And I have these right here and this over here. So the problem is I just don't have the shelves right now. I need to get a little extra. What I'm looking at putting together is a actual business room for the website. And that will allow me to have all the cars out at the same time. So it's not because I don't want to do it, I promise. It's just because I can't yet. Smalley912 off topic, but favorite Jeff Gordon race to win diecast? That's a good question. I like his 2011 Phoenix win. The right side is really scraped up on that one. So that's a pretty good one. Both of his Talladega wins from 2004 and 5 are really good. I really like the Pepsi cars. I think those look really cool. And his final Martinsville win was pretty cool. So I think it'd be those 4. If I had to go with like one that I would probably not part with under any circumstance type of thing, I'd have to pick probably the Martinsville just because it was such an iconic. But I like those 4. Those are kind of my tops. Jackson B41. All right, I'm out. Happy Easter. School in the morning. Hey, have a good one tomorrow. Work's coming up in less than 12 hours. Oh boy, I'm excited. All right. Braden Greenwood says, do you think NASCAR should go to an actual purpose-built dirt track instead of sacrificing a normal Bristol date? I'm torn because unless you can recreate this track, which is the high banking, I don't think it'll work. You got to know that there's certain things about this track that make it really beneficial for stock cars, like having it multi-groove like that, where it really stretches out the groove like that, having walls all the way around it. Sometimes that's not common, where you have pit areas outside the track, not inside the track. The only track I can think of is Knoxville, where there's an inside pit. A lot of them you have to go outside the track to pit because you can't put all them teams in there. And a lot of tracks won't be able to handle 40 cars on dirt. And that's normal for dirt tracks. So I definitely don't like losing a Bristol date. Don't get me wrong, but I do know that Bristol with its high banks does work well for this many cars because it's so big with a half mile. A lot of dirt tracks aren't going to work. Now, I will say one track I do think has potential. Look up in Pennsylvania, Williams Grove, long straightaways, really long straightaways and kind of some tight corners. I think that could be a really good race because it would give them enough time to actually get runs on each other by how well they leave corners and stuff. And I think that would really present some good opportunities. So I think Williams Grove is one that I would put on my list of I'd be interested to see. AJ Gaming, on my custom car, I added my name on the A post. Aren't you supposed to put that up on the name rail? Why didn't you put it on the name rail? Unless you couldn't. Let's see. Don't worry, Clyde. 5,000 subscribers. Maybe you just got to help. You got to share the videos around. That's it. And the Texas flag. Oh, okay. So it is probably up on the name rail. You just got your flag with it too. KFC says, "Oh, I might go to our IRP. I forgot it was happening. This is why I like that you recommend that stuff." Yeah. Hey, I'm guessing the tickets are cheap. I actually drove past the track last year just to see where it was. I think I actually may have got lost. I could be wrong, but yeah, I did see it. It is going to be tight parking wise, but I think the trucks are going to put on a good show. I'm always there Friday night anyway, so I may as well have some fun with it. All right. I'm so sad. I hate Kyle Busch. Hey, at least Chase got back to the top 8. I mean, he finished 8th, so kind of salvaged the night. But I don't mind Kyle Busch. I actually really like him. You know, after the Darlington incident with Elliott a couple years ago, and then he came over and was the first person to chase his car after he got pretty much hosed out of the Coke 600 by bad pit strategy from Gustafson. You know, and remember, Kyle Busch had been through that. 2017, he was the car to beat, and you know, on pit strategy, Dylan won the race, and he didn't get it, and that's tough. Let's see here. Cloud Rider says, I found wait, hold on. I found to diver May 1st. Can't wait to see. I didn't read that right. I'm having trouble. Justin says, I was thinking about getting a hot pass. Yeah, I don't know. I think Gateway is going to be, there's going to be a lot going on. So I'm not sure what Gateway is going to look like, but there will be a lot of practice, so that might help. Bubba predicted people calling Kyle Mickey. Give them a new phrase, you clowns. Hey, I mean, at least he won it a different way than just rain, so that's got to count for something. But I mean, that's got you can't fault it too much. But I think it's funny. It's at least Bubba's pointing out all the dumb stuff they do. Let's see, Alexander Stiegel. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I literally like Kyle Busch and Ty Gibbs only because everyone else hates him. Well, that's a little weird. I mean, I like Kyle Busch because, frankly, he plays the villain role well, but he still races really clean. Like, people just hate him to hate him because he really does race pretty darn good with people. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes he makes mistakes and then gets into people, but I mean, since 2016 after the injury, or 15. Kyle Busch has been probably one of the most fair and just good competitive race car drivers in the garage area. You know, his early stuff reminds me a lot of early, Kurt Busch, but everyone likes Kurt now too. So, he just matured. A bin collection. Yeah, I'd have to go digging. But here's the other thing. I might do a live stream where I unpack them all in the new place. So that could be fun. DW was a welcome addition to the booth. I agree. I think DW and Larry Mack up there just put the professionalism back in the booth. I mean, Larry Mack wasn't there the full time, but it did bring a little bit just calm. There wasn't like this constant need to talk over each other. If you had something to add, you added it, but otherwise you just kind of watch the race and let it play out. My hope for Hocevar is that he eventually will drive for Trackhouse. I would love it if he could spend the next couple of years with colleague. That drive a third Trackhouse car one day, similar to Path to Chastain. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if colleague has a third car soon, or some other guys. But Hocevar is a very talented driver. I saw it last year. He's going to be in Xfinity next year. Someone's going to want him on that team. So he will. This will be his last year in trucks. I'm almost certain. KFC says, I actually picked up a few cars today. Let's go Alan, sorry, the Alex Bowman Ally and the Larson Valvoline. I think, I don't have it. I can't show it, but I think you're talking about that car. And that one right there, it's in there sideways, but it's that red Larson Valvoline. All right. Who's my least favorite driver? My least favorite driver right now is, I got a list. I got like 2 for each series. My least favorite driver in the Cup Series right now is Joey Logano. Just because of how he operates. I'm not a huge Harvick fan, but I don't really mind him on the racetrack wise. I just think he's bad with fans. But I would say Joey Logano is probably number 1. Number 2 would probably be, I don't know if I have an easy number 2. I'd have to say, I'll just go with 1, Joey Logano. In the Xfinity Series, it's probably Austin Hill or Brandon Jones, mostly because, remember, Austin Hill took Brett Moffitt's ride in trucks. And so the fact that he literally has been worse than Moffitt in every series and yet continues to get better rides every time just drives me nuts. So not really a ton that he did. I just think it's like annoying that he gets promoted. Like, these guys that literally perform worse in the same stuff keep getting moved into better and better roles. I think that drives me nuts. How do you run as well as he has in pretty much everything he's hopped in, and then just no opportunity. It drives me up a wall. And in trucks, I would say half the field, half the pay to drive guys that just can't drive and ram into each other. So the trucks is frustrating to watch. Some of those guys drive like morons. Is my website up to date? It is currently mostly up to date. Pre-order wise, it'll be up to date tomorrow. Remember, I'm only doing pre-orders on race wins this year. But that being said, if you do have a standard scheme, you can message me and I can still get it. But it's just I can't try to stock a bunch of stuff because you got to have all those on hand, and it takes a lot of space to do that. So I'm trying to, slimmer it down. But yeah, if you're looking for anything specific, you just got to shoot me a message. My friend wrecked me while we were racing go-karts on our street, and I hit a trash can. Well, I'm glad you have a friend to race with. That's a good thing, but breaking your leg is not a great thing. So let's just call it even. No, it's a net. I don't know. It's at least your leg will heal, and you'll be able to keep racing with the guy. It's one of those wins that people don't like, but people can't really be mad at him. I assume we're talking about the Kyle Busch one. KFC says I started liking Kyle after the 2018 Chicagoland. I did too. I mean, even in the stands, I booed him a little bit because I thought he just dumped Larson. Then I saw the replay and I was like, oh, that's fair. All fair. And so even by the time he was driving back to the pits, because we knew by that point that Larson had put him in the wall, and I was just laughing because everyone else was still booing. Little late, but Pennsylvania home state. Oh, heck yeah. Williams Grove, man. If you haven't been there, go see an outlaw race. It's fun. What are the odds of dirt Bristol in the spring, normal Bristol summer, and fall, first 3-event track? No, I think the crowd is going to be the hardest part to please. How are you going to draw guys? If they have 3 different options, there's going to be too many that choose not to go to one of them. And so I do think they should just push the dirt part back into earlier mid-May, because they keep getting caught with rain. They need to move this out of April. There's too much rain in April. But yeah. Which do I like better, Larry Anderson or Jordan McReynolds? Larry McReynolds or Jordan Anderson? Well, I'm pretty sure Larry McReynolds is technically Jordan Anderson's father-in-law. So you're close. By the way, I'm going to Dover May 1st. Oh, okay. Okay, that's not too far. I think from Pennsylvania, it's a little hike, but not bad. Fun fact, Hocevar grew up 16 minutes from me. He grew up in Portage, Michigan. Oh, he's a Michigan guy. Maybe he'll be the first Michigan driver to win at Michigan. Let's see here. What don't you like about Logano? I think he's matured like Busch. It's not the mature, because he acts fine with fans. I have no problem with him with fans or anything like that. But it's the way that he raced Truex in 2018. And I don't think that's changed. I think he will continue to race like that. And I don't think that'll change at all. I mean, it's been kind of just the way he races his entire career, where it's like, I knocked you out of the way. It's racing. It's like, okay, but if someone knocks you out of the way back, you can't throw a temper tantrum and dump the guy, because you have one coming. And a lot of times people race him clean for wins, and he doesn't do the same back. And more recently, if we're being honest, he won the Clash and Bristol Dirt. Since those 2 races, his last win was 2020 Kansas. And 2020 Kansas was a crap show because it was just air blocking the entire time. So I think he's a good driver. I don't like the way he drives. So it's not like a bad personal thing. What do I think about the future for Stenhouse and GTG? I feel like it could be it for both. I think Ricky's got to calm down and stop wrecking stuff. That's the biggest thing. And some of them aren't his fault, but Ricky's just wild, man. Justin, where am I sitting for Gateway? I think in turn 4, or not turn 4, like it's front stretch, but it's like midway towards turn 4. So it's not dead center, but it's on the turn 4 side. Truck Series is either 18-year-olds who are in their first start or 50-year-old bad drivers who never got a win in any series. It's a little mixed. There's not enough 50-year-olds, honestly. We need more veterans. I think that's the biggest problem, is they just need to get more veterans down there, because the guys race stupid and nobody puts them in their place. And then some of the veterans race stupid. Johnny Sauter fenced Haley Deegan last week for nothing. Like, I don't know. It's a mix, man. Reddick reminds me of Chase Elliott when he was younger, getting ran over weak and not saying anything about it. Yeah, I mean, I think if we're being honest, look at Chase Elliott's body of work. The guy had more top 5s, lap leads, and all that stuff. Like, he was just not getting lucky on some of them wins. I mean, Chicagoland 2016 is a perfect example. That is a race win just stolen by a yellow. So, let's see. Random thought. I'd like to see Larson in the number 5 Valvoline instant oil change blue scheme for Casey Kane Racing. As good as he is in the 57, I wish he didn't drive an all-white car. Oh, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I like the Casey Kane Racing font. So I'd like to see him in any of the Casey Kane Racing cars, but I don't mind an all-white car. It looks pretty clean when it's clean. So it's not terrible. All right, let's see here. NASCAR should race on this tiny track in Bridgeport. No, they should not. No, they should not. Is Gibbs the new Logano, youngest Xfinity winner in Gibbs pipeline? No. I think, honestly, Ty Gibbs is almost worse. Because Joey Logano would get pushed around a little bit when he was younger. Like, he won some nationwide races, but he wasn't incredibly stupid. He did make some really dumb moves. You can go back and look at some of his younger days in, like, ARCA and K&N West and that kind of stuff, because there was a race where he literally got black flagged for dumping the leader blatantly, and that was back when NASCAR policed that, and they were like, no, you don't just dump the leader. But he used to get pushed around a lot, and then he had to kind of stand up for himself. Ty Gibbs just wrecks, I don't say just wrecks people, but he does dumb things and then never had to answer for it, because it's like nobody wants to get into a tussle with him. But the fact is, the kid has definitely earned that. I mean, Ryan Sieg, the only thing that kept Ty Gibbs from getting lucky was the fact that Sieg wasn't trying to wreck him. He was just trying to get in his way, because Ryan Sieg could have fenced him if he really wanted to. He decided, I'm just going to get up in front of him and show I'm not pleased with him. And if he wanted to hunt him down and knock him out of the race, he could have. But, at the end of the day, Ty Gibbs has gotten away with very little contact back. So will I get the Chase Elliott sprint car? Yes, I will. And it'll be on the website. I have, I think, 3 available. Let's see here. KFC, what happened between Ware and Elliott? Ware basically came off the bottom, not clear, and just ran into Elliott, and then going to the next corner, Elliott dumped him. So, I mean, I think that's always been a fair move. If a guy just clears himself and he's not clear, and he rams into the side of you, or forces you to jump out of the gas on a straightaway, yeah, you're getting dumped in the next corner, and that's perfectly fair. My boy Ben won yesterday. Ben had a great car. He could just sail it in there faster than anyone. Dig the Easter weekend tradition. Yeah, it's okay. It's not the best, but anyway, now that we're finally about on the chat. We didn't even hardly talk about it too much, but I do got some metal chassis to take pictures of, but it was a great race. It was a really, really good, solid event. As I said, the rain really worked out in the favor of Bristol. It really helped spread it out, get that water on there, make the track kind of come back in, and it kept it from getting too dry and dusty like it did last year. So them having a chance to work on the track kind of on nicely spaced breaks really worked out in their favor. So that, I think, helped. Do I want to see it again? I don't know. It did put on a decent race. They need to run dirt cars. And that, what I mean by that is NASCAR needs to make up their mind. Are they running a dirt race or are they running a cup race? And you need to run the rules for each race. And what do I mean by that? Well, here's how the rule works. In dirt racing, only green flag laps count, period. So if you get spun around, and like what happened to Matt DiBenedetto and Self, where they got stuck together, silly things like that. They lost 6 laps. Their race is over for a silly little thing like that. If you don't count yellow laps, they just keep going. It's not a big deal. And that's the thing. NASCAR needs to decide, are you a dirt race or are you in NASCAR? Because if you're going to do NASCAR, you're going to run a long distance dirt race, which means you need to have pit road ready to do pit stops under green, and you need to allow fueling and tire changes like a normal NASCAR race. You can either run a NASCAR race on dirt, or you can run a dirt race with NASCARs. But you need to pick, because this random will take this rule, but not this rule, and this rule is very confusing. You need to be in one square. You can choose which one, but you got to pick one, because it's very confusing for fans when, hey, these guys went down pit road, they lose their spot. Not yet. They need to go green first. It's like, what does that mean? And it makes sense in the dirt world. It doesn't make sense there. So that's just something I'd like to see. I do think also they really did have I said, the good luck on that prepping of the track, but I think they can honestly whittle the field down a little bit. I mean, there's no reason that we can't have, 25, 30 starters in this race. Frankly, 25 is probably the right amount just to keep a little wear off the track. And it puts a little more emphasis on the heats. Now, that being said, you don't just run one set of heats. You run two sets of heats. You run everyone starts in this position, run your heat race. Then you invert the starting position and you go by average finish. So if your, average finish is junk because you didn't finish well in either one, you got no one to blame but yourself. If you get knocked out of one race, at least you still have another race to make up for it. But, at least you have that opportunity. It's better than the passing point system, personally, because if you're good, you start up front, lead every lap, and win, you only get 10 points. Guy starts last, and half the people fall out of the race, like Cole Custer. You end up second, great, but you ended up on the pole because of it. Hell, let's run NHRA on dirt. It can't be worse. Yeah, that'd be great. Get rid of the charters, similar to the Clash. No, I agree. I think charter-wise, it doesn't matter. Once you're at the Bristol Dirt Race, you're at the Bristol Dirt Race, but you're not guaranteed a feature spot. You were guaranteed to start in the heats, but, that's it. No more charters at the Bristol Dirt Race. And it'll take a few years. We need it to the point where you can get more cars. I mean, I want the Bristol Dirt Race to be a race where 50 guys show up, so you run 5 heats for 25 places, and then you can also run a B main or a C main. Oh my gosh, can you imagine how much fun that would be? A B main where only the top 5 get into the A main? Oh, that's why dirt racing's good. So again, NASCAR has to pick. You're either a NASCAR race on dirt or you're a dirt race with NASCARs, because this mix and match is not working. All right. Do I have Chase Elliott? Bristol Dirt Car, man. These just came out, metal chassis, but yeah, neat. Let's see. NASCAR should have give Custer his laps back, since NASCAR let everyone clean the grill out. Yeah, no, I agree there. NASCAR should have absolutely given everyone their lap back, because that whole situation was caused by the track. So if a guy pit to get his grill cleaned off, you need to give him every lap back and get him at the tail of the lead lap. He doesn't get his position back, but he should never have been more than on the lead lap, at least. That's ridiculous. NASCAR needs to have real crown jewels. Well, the only way you have crown jewels is you have a crown jewel level purse with crown jewel level points. So do what IndyCar does, double points. Southern 500, double points, as well as the Bristol Night Race, Daytona 500, whatever. But let the crown jewel races be double points. I'm good. I'm all on board for that. Who's my favorite racer? Right now in the Cup Series, I am obviously an Elliott fan. I was a Bill Elliott fan, then a Casey Kane fan, so Chase Elliott kind of fit right into that mold. I have guys I like too. I mean, I'm a fan of Larson and other guys, but that's definitely who I watch the most as far as my driver. In Xfinity, Moffitt and Gregson, and in trucks, I mean, I'm watching to see how DiBenedetto does, but really the trucks are just uninteresting to me. Until the racing quality improves in the truck series, I ain't gonna be all about it yet. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I was going to go through the results quick before we call this a stream. It's late, man, so we're not going to stay on here too long. So on the results, Kyle Busch did end up in first. Tyler Reddick still ended up in second. It was close. Joey Logano ends up third. Kyle Larson in fourth. Ryan Blaney fifth. Bowman sixth. Bell seventh. Elliott eighth. McDowell ninth. And Ty Dillon gets a top 10. Keselowski, Suarez, Custer, Haley, and Buescher are the next 5, along with Cindric, Gillen, Byron, LaJoie, and Burton in 20th. After that is where you get to the guys that were kind of either out of the race or having struggles. Truex, Briscoe, and Almirola, I think, were on the lead lap, along with, I think Jones wrecked, so I don't remember how many laps down he was. Williams, Ware, Gregson was like 7 laps down at one point. I think he finished the race 2 laps down. Bubba had to pit and ended up 3 laps down. Stenhouse was 5 laps down. Yaley, I think, had an accident. And Dillon, Busch, Chastain, Harvick, Hamlin, Allgaier all ended out with accidents or engine issues. As far as stage points go, or as far as stages go, Kyle Larson won stage 1. Ty Dillon got second in stage 1. So Ty Dillon had a great run in stage 1, getting 9 stage points. Plus, I think he finished 10th. So he had a good points day. I don't know that that's going to help him a ton towards getting to that playoff mark, but it is closer. And then in stage 2, Briscoe ended up getting the win in that stage. Now I got to look here. Stage 1, Blaney got 2 stage points, and then 2 stage points. So we got 4 total stage points. Elliott got 7, so he's plus 3 on the stage point counter. +3. Whoops, I need to go to results. I need to see who the point leader is going to be. So Elliott gained 3 total points through stages, but he lost 1, 2, 3 points there. So they're about a net even. I think they score the same amount of points. So going into next week, it'll still be a 3-point gap as far as who's currently running where. I'd love to see the updated standings, but the NASCAR app is always really slow at that. So unfortunately, we won't. I don't think we'll have that. I could be wrong, but I don't think we will. Yeah, they haven't updated yet, so they got some work to do yet. But yeah, Kyle Busch was one of those towards the bottom of the playoff list. So him getting that win's going to pump him up in there. Now, here's the deal. Guys that had trouble that were in the playoffs, Austin Dillon was only 10 points to the good. He had an engine failure. He's going to probably have to regret that. He's going to have some trouble. Reddick, 15 points to the good. He's going to have a good day. He's going to move upward. Kevin Harvick had a really bad day. He was out really early. 35 points to the good. He's going to lose a lot of that gap. Truex is far enough ahead, it's not going to matter. Guys that were on the cut line that have a chance to move up. Suarez is probably going to move up. He had a great second stage and a decent finish. Bell is going to probably move up closer to that line as well. Ty Dillon was 67 points out, so he's going to have a decent gain, but he's still going to be quite, at least one full race out. So, there's going to be a lot of guys that are still in a lot of trouble. Like Harrison Burton's still 29th in points, man. They're still struggling. So, yeah, it should be an interesting way to watch that playoff system unfold, because as people keep winning, that cut line keeps getting moved further and further up. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so Indy Road Course is great, but I missed the oval for the official Brickyard 400. It's not the most entertaining race, but it is. But the importance of it, absolutely, Smalley. I would love to see them run both. I'm okay with going to Indy twice. Because Indy is that good a track, and I'm okay with even doing it where you run one race and then you have a full week of testing, qualifying, and going into the Brickyard 400. I want the Brickyard 400 to be a grail again. I want, at some point, 50 cars to show up. I want I want the field to be full. I want that to be a prestigious race again, and it'd be nice. Bring championship back to Homestead. Hey, I'm on board. I just think there should be no championship race. I think it's dumb. Does TV not consider Bristol night race a crown jewel because it's Saturday night and the networks don't like night races? I don't think TV counts it because the TV doesn't understand how NASCAR fans view it. I mean, Kyle Larson last year showed exactly what it was. It was a crown jewel. He had always wanted to win that race. That race was very important to him. So I don't give a darn what TV thinks. They think certain races are crown jewels that, maybe. But at the end of the day, NASCAR fans know what the crown jewels are. They know what a big race is. My dad asked me if I heard about the Hendrick switch to Ford. I said they'll never switch from Chevy. No, they will not. Chevy will never let Hendrick go. What place did Bubba Smollett finish? Yeah, come on. Bubba didn't report the thing. Let's not be stupid about it. You can disagree with his politics, but let's be honest about what happened in the situation. And, yeah, Bubba could have handled some things better for sure, but I'm not a fan of that nickname. But I can still tell you where he finished. Bubba finished in 28th, and I think he was like 3 laps down. And he had an engine get clogged up, so... Brett Dodd says, I wish Moffitt was in a better car. I 100% agree. I've been there too many times. NASCAR Fan of 4. NASCAR needs to put spectators first, so no more yellow laps for TV. I'm looking at the Indy Road Course. Hey, I'm looking at tonight right now, NASCAR fan. When that rain caution came with 28 to go, I was pretty ticked off because NASCAR had burned so much time with extra yellow laps they could have almost had the race over at that point. The perfect example of that is the little piece of debris on the backstretch. When that caution comes out, it takes them 5 to 10 laps to get out there and pick the dang thing up. I'm sorry. Put a guy in a vest out there, have him run and jump over the wall, grab the thing, throw it over the wall, and then run back. It takes 5 seconds. And you could even put a giant glowing cone on his head that lights up so everyone sees him. But instead, they have to bring a truck out. They have to park the truck, guys, to get out of the truck, grab the thing, run it back to the truck, put it in the back, hop back in the seat. They got to drive back around pit wall, got to run backwards up pit road, and then back and park. It's like it should take you 5 minutes, or it should take you like 30 seconds, and it takes you 3.5 minutes. It's just unnecessary. Like, NASCAR has no urgency to get things restarted, and that absolutely fries me. Every other racing series in the world is like, anytime there's an issue, let's get it cleaned up. Let's go. There's a race to be done. Like, there's a race going on. We got to get this race going again. Like, everyone has that urgency, but NASCAR's just like, well, I know there was a single car spin and he kept going and everyone's lined up, but let's wait about 6 more laps before we line up. Oh, that drives me nuts. All right, I'm gonna have to head out. Have a good one there, Clyde Ryder. What will happen if we have more than 16 winners in a regular season? Then it goes by points. So if you're the 17th place person in points based on wins, you are out. Or if the championship leader this year, it would be Chase Elliott, if he wins the regular season title without a win, it's 15 winners, Chase Elliott, and the first guy without or the lowest in points would be out. So you cannot technically, like, if you win the regular season title without a win, you are still guaranteed in. Now, if you're second, out of luck, which I think is bad. I feel like Indy Oval would put a great show on with the new car. I do too. I think the Indy Oval could do good. I think the road course could also do really well. I think Indy, I would love to see them race back to back, not back to back days, but you do one race up there on, say, Sunday, and then you spend all week up there with testing and promoting for the Brickyard 400 and make that race a spectacle again. They used to come up there 2 weeks ahead of time and test and get their cars ready. I mean, it was like there were cars on the track for 2 weeks before that race started. And now they want to try and make it so they can show up Friday night and be gone by Sunday afternoon. The fact is, the less time you're in town, the less time you can promote your own race. That's just how it is. Bricks in the Hall says, what's up with it? Chase Elliott, man, hasn't won a race in forever, even though he should have won several races. I mean, that's exactly it, though. The guy's always been up there running. I mean, Kyle Busch hadn't won in a while either, but it's not like the guy's not running well. I mean, for crying out loud, he's a points leader. Just can't get the deal to close. And that being said, part of that falls back on Alan Gustafson making some really ridiculous pit calls at different times that really hurt them. But I mean, yeah, like there's enough there, but they just can't seem to put it together. I mean, they ran runner-up in, like, I don't know how many races last year. Realistically, he was the best Hendrick car early in the race at Phoenix, and they fell off towards the end, but also they flared out Kyle Larson's fender, which helped him a ton. So at the end of the day, it's like they haven't been bad. They just, I don't know, they just can't seem to snag the win. All right. Do I think that the playoffs should stay where it's winning you're in, or just be based off top 16? I would only go top 10 or 12, maybe. I think 16 is too many. I mean, if you look at who's 16th in points right now. That's results. I want to go to standings. All right, so who's 16th? And this is midway through the season, but 16th in points right now is Kurt Busch, Austin Dillon, Eric Jones, Daniel Suarez, Austin Cindric. Are those guys championship caliber drivers? Are we really going to act like those are guys we want running for a championship? Now let's go to the top 10. Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Eric Almirola, which is really good for him. He's not going up that high. Truex Jr., Bowman, Chastain, Logano, Byron, Blaney, Elliott. Like, those are the guys we've seen run well all year. Now, it's early, so it would eventually cycle out to the best 10, but I just think 10 is a better number, or 12 even. 12 you'd add Briscoe and Reddick, so, I mean, we can all agree on that. Larson's 13th in points, so I just think 12 or 13 is better. Every other racing series has a season-long point. NASCAR has a one-race championship. That hits the nail on the head. You can't have a one-race championship. I can settle at a 10-race championship where you reset kind of. I want the stage points and playoff points type stuff. I want that stuff to move you with throughout the standings. So if you have a lot of playoff points or whatnot, it'll help you out. But at the end of the day, it drives me nuts to think that we have a one-race championship. We should easily have at least a 10-race championship, because a 10-race championship is far more fair than a one-race championship. And that being said, realistically, just do a season-long title with double points at certain races, including the finale. If a guy runs away with it, he runs away with it. That's okay. He earned it. At least everyone would say he earned it, instead of people saying it's a Mickey. Because, unfortunately, some of these are. You got guys that are clearly not the best driver that year, but they get a championship. So, yeah, unfortunate, really. But anyway, guys, I think that'll pretty much wrap it up. I don't think there was much to touch on with the truck race. As I said, just some things about NASCAR not cleaning things up. There'll be a little of that in the race review that'll be coming out sometime tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Stay tuned. Next week is Talladega. We'll have a ton of raced versions coming through. The Love's counter display. I have not found that yet. It's probably at a Love's. I don't really have any near me. I know there's one about an hour and a half from me. But you can get them at the Lowe's gas stations or truck stops. But anyway, guys, that'll wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed the Bristol Dirt Race. I know it was a decent time, but we'll see if we end up with one again next year. They didn't announce it yet. Last year they announced that they were doing dirt twice, but they didn't announce that this year yet. So we will see what they plan to do. I'm not sure yet, but hope you guys enjoy the race. Have a good week this week. Stay tuned for our the diecast reviews coming out throughout the week. But other than that, this has been Race Grays. Have yourself a good one, and stay tuned tomorrow for the next diecast review.